and welcome to Team Impact for City and County Credit Union. My name is Tisha Sheridan, and I'm the Member Connections Manager. We come together today for International Women's Day. We are doing an interview series of some phenomenal women. Today I have with me Dr. Jeanne Mrozek. She is the Medical Director of the Neonatal Intensive Care for North Memorial Healthcare at Robbinsdale and Maple Grove, and the founder and president of Minnesota's Neonatal Foundation. Thank you for taking your time out today to have this interview with me for City and County's Credit Union Team Impact. As we celebrate, acknowledge, and uplift women in Minnesota, in the nation, and around the world. So thank you.
Thank you, Tisha.
Dr. Mrozek, you've been practicing neonatology since 1998. You went to the University of Minnesota and graduated with a BS in chemistry and a degree in medicine. You are passionate about your work with the Neonatal Foundation, and we are so grateful to have you today. You were also selected as of May 2018. You were the recipient of the Ellis Island Medal of Honors. You have been such a passionate and outstanding NICU doctor. Your specialty is near and dear to my heart. I have a son, Bernie. He was born an extreme preemie at 24 weeks, only weighing 1 pound, 7 ounces. So I truly, truly celebrate you. So it's definitely an honor to have you here with us today.
Thanks, Tisha. I'm humbled.
Thank you. You are so welcome. So my first question I have for you, what does International Women's Day mean to you?
Well, Tisha, to be honest, I had to actually read about International Women's Day because I did not know that it has been around for over 100 years. And I was a little embarrassed, as I often am when I learn stuff I think I should know. But I have to say, I have had the good fortune of being treated pretty well most of my life. And due to the hard work of women born before me, I have had an enormous amount of opportunity. I have two daughters, one who is studying to be a neonatologist like myself, and I'm aware that there continue to be inequities for women also in the field of medicine. And I'm hopeful that if we continue to treat each other with decency and respect, that this will change. But I also think it's important to highlight the inequities that do still exist for women, both in medicine and in many other areas of life.
I truly agree with you. Things have gotten better, but we do have a way to go for us. What inspired you to become a doctor, and why did you choose to practice in pediatrics and the neonatal intensive care?
Well, I have actually known for reasons that I can't articulate that I wanted to be a doctor since I was a little kid. And I did not know that I would go into pediatrics or neonatology, and I feel that they chose me. When I was training and going through my medical school rotations, I did a rotation at St. Paul Children's in pediatrics, and I had a blast. And that kind of took me by surprise. And when I was looking for other elective rotations, my advisor recommended that I do another rotation in pediatrics. I was not super interested in doing that, but I did it. And then I loved that as well. And so I did my training in pediatrics. And then while I was doing my fellowship training, I was also at St. Paul Children's. And I had the opportunity to take care of a very sick little baby girl whose circumstances I remember very acutely. And following that episode, my immediate mentor recommended that I think about a career in neonatology. Kind of took me back a little bit, but I started thinking about it. And I looked around at that time in my training, and this goes to show how far women have come in medicine. In the entire pediatrics program at the University of Minnesota at that time, there was one married female neonatologist whose husband worked and had kids. And in the other specialties, that was not something I saw. Maybe it existed, but I didn't see it. And so I thought, wow, it's possible. So I decided to go into it, and here I am. I love it. It's been one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Well, families are definitely thankful that you decided to go into your field. So, my next question for you is why did you start the Minnesota Neonatal Foundation and what has been your passion to continue the work?
Well, when you first start out training in medicine, it's really all about physiology and learning medicine. And particularly when you're first starting out, really doing no harm. You're motivated by fear of not hurting anyone. But over time, as you become more competent, you start to look at things differently. And what I came to realize over time is that people don't just want to have their medical needs taken care of, they want to know that somebody cares about them. They want to know that they are important and valued. And I believe that that is a very important and critical part of their healing. There are people who are born who have this skill intrinsically, and they are a gift to be around. But I also think that we can train people to do a better job of supporting others and affirming others and helping them feel supported in really some of their most vulnerable moments. Um, we've all had a time when we didn't feel like we were heard, or we were dismissed, or we ignored. And on a good day, that's annoying. But when your baby's in the hospital and you don't feel like anyone's listening to you, that can damage your relationship with the team, and it can set up a situation of mistrust that can really take a long, long time to go away. And so I realize that hospitals have a big job on their hands. They take care of a lot of things. They have to take care of they have to save lives, basically. That's their job. And I didn't see them having the resources to help start this training. And so that's why I started the foundation. Um, my passion, my passion is just that this is important work. And when you see the impact that it has on families, it fills my tank. So I I can't tell if the results fuel me or something else fuels me, but the energy surrounding this work is really contagious and you can feel it.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Can you please share with me the support programs and events that the Minnesota Neonatal Foundation has had for preemies and their family members?
I would love to, actually. So we have a couple different things. Our signature family event is called the NICU Family Reunion. And when I first started the foundation and I was talking to parents, this was the one common theme that people brought forward to me as a request, that they wanted to be able to get together and see the people who took care of their baby, show their baby off as their baby grows into a child and young adult, and really to say thank you. And so we started that in 2018. We're going to have our fifth one this year. We typically get between 350 to 400 people, and there is hugging and crying and tears of joy. And we have face painting and a therapy dog and games and food. And this is a free event for all families and um, all NICU families and staff throughout the state of Minnesota. So that is something I'm extremely proud of, because you can't go to that reunion and not have a good day. The second signature program we have is something called the NICU Parent Navigator. This is a position staffed by a former NICU parent to help support families and staff. And research has shown that peer support, somebody who has been in the shoes of a NICU family member, is helpful in mitigating the trauma that can result from having a kid in the NICU. And through, well, I should say that first of all, we are presently at Hennepin Health in downtown Minneapolis and also in North Memorial in Robbinsdale, and we're hoping to expand into one. That's exciting. Um, Underneath this umbrella, we have developed a free virtual class called Parent Connect. And this has a mental health expert who specializes in taking care of NICU moms. That's one of our sessions. We have a pediatric physical therapist who talks about structured play, and we have a specialist in early childhood intervention. because many NICU families don't take advantage of these resources because um, through the NICU hospitalization process, you can also you can develop the sense that you need to keep your kids safe and keep them out of things. And so there's a general reluctance to engage in what I would call sort of typical uh, early childhood rearing. Um, after COVID, we looked for an opportunity to get families together to play. So in the summer, we have parents at the park. And this is a kind of a free play activity so parents can socialize with other NICU parents. And it's led by one of our board members, Amanda Scallon. We also have something called, parents, that's Parents at the Park. We also have something called Parents with Play. So we have partnered with Red Leaf Center for Healing at Hennepin Health, and they have a space where we can have a structured play and education class where the moms and the babies come together and play, and so that's pretty cool. Um, Prior to that, we have raised money for some closed circuit closed circuit cameras so that parents could be connected to their baby when they can't be in the hospital. And we donated those to a couple local NICUs. And in the fall, I almost forgot, in the fall, we're having our Better Together Gala, October 5th. And that is going to highlight some of our NICU graduates. I don't want to give it away, but that's going to be a pretty exciting, compelling event, October 5th. And that is to raise money to continue to support our programming.
Well, the Minnesota Neonatal Foundation is doing some amazing work. You know, the NICU family reunion is amazing. I actually had the privilege to attend, and you're right, to be able to see the babies grow up, Bernie being a preemie himself, and to see the progress that the children have made is definitely inspirational. And thanks to doctors like you who take care of our babies. It can't get any better than that. So I'm sure a lot of people tell you, we love you, right? So
Well, I think
definitely,
it's also fun for families who have a 2-year-old to see somebody like Bernie, who, he's grown up. So it's so hard to see the future when your
right,
kid is in a NICU, but when you see these kids walking around and talking and playing and leading wonderful lives, um, it all starts to feel a little bit better.
right. Now I have to say the one thing I wish I would have had uh, 12 years ago was the cameras. I think that is so amazing
Yeah.
with the cameras to be connected for families that are out the country,
Yep.
that are in different states, to really bring that connection, and that's important when you're going through such a uh, tough situation and your child is really sick in the NICU, and then you can have that support, and they can see them as the progress is made. So, what an amazing
Yeah, we're
different
very proud of
program.
that.
Yes, very much so. So, don't want to have to deal with that, have to have that situation anymore. But I wish I would have had it. It would have been just amazing for
Yep.
my other family members to be able to see Bernie and his progress. So,
Well,
thank you.
particularly with COVID, when people couldn't come to the hospital, it was
Right,
really critical to have that visual access to the
right.
family.
Yes, that connection, that true connection that brought. So, what advice would you share with mothers about prenatal and postnatal care?
I would say do it. So, you are raising a human being, another human being. And if your body isn't healthy and strong, then that's going to potentially limit how that baby is going to do. So, things like exercise and good nutrition and taking care of yourself and getting sleep, sometimes those can feel like you're being selfish, particularly after you've delivered the baby and you want to meet that baby's every need. But if you are exhausted and depleted, you're not going to be able to do that. So take care of yourself. Um, it will come back to help you in so many ways.
Right, very, very true. Well, you know what? It's you talk about health, and we're not the health as far as health care, but with city and county credit union, we fit that piece of financial health in people's lives. So we
Yes.
can
Yeah.
equate that piece of it to be financially educated makes you financially healthy. So we, that kind of that toggle off of life, and so healthy with your health and your children and your finances. So thank you, appreciate that.
Maybe we could figure out a way to teach some of that economic health to some of our families through some of these programs if they haven't had it before.
That's true, and we can definitely check with our company. I'm sure city and county would love to partner and do some financial classes. So definitely see a partnership in the future. So my last question to you is, I'm waiting for your answer for this one.
Okay.
What is something that you would like to share with young girls about being future leaders and doctors?
Well, I would say go for it. I think that what I have learned over the years is that women, and probably by definition, girls as well, sometimes look at themselves and they see a shortcoming or a gap in education or ability, and then they just don't pursue something. They limit themselves. And everybody has gaps, everybody has limits in their capability, and nobody who ever achieved anything hasn't worked hard for it, hasn't had setbacks, hasn't fallen down, hasn't done it wrong. I can tell you I have done all of those things. And I'm even, for some reason, a picture of Tiger Woods just came into my head because, sometimes he's in the sand trap. He hits it out of the sand trap because he practices. You're not supposed to go in the sand trap. You don't want to go in the sand trap, but you gotta hit the ball out of the sand trap. And that's just an analogy for if you fall or if you have a setback, just learn from it. And if there's something you want to do, go for it. Um, I don't think I could ever play in, the NBA or something, or the WNBA because I don't have those skills, and potentially, no matter how hard I practice, I probably still wouldn't have those skills. But with regard to a vocation or a profession, I firmly believe that if you want something, work hard, get down, fall down, get up, go for it, and you won't have any regrets.
Well, thank you for sharing. Dr. Mrozek, thank you for an amazing interview today for City and County Credit Union Team Impact International Women's Day. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your passion as you work to save premature babies who all grow into our future leaders. So definitely appreciate you. We appreciate your big impact on saving them and working in the NICU and the outreach that you have the Minnesota Neonatal Foundation. We also appreciate you being a leader, a connector, and a mentor, and you are truly an inspiration. So thank you for today.
Thank you, Tisha.